So today I'm going to be making muffins. I'm going to start out with a basic muffin base, and then I'm going to add several different ingredients, and we're going to end up with 4 different kinds of muffins. So the first thing we need to do is I have 6 cups of all-purpose flour. To that I'm going to add 2 cups of sugar, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of salt. We're going to stir that all together. Now, my husband likes to say that there's nothing good about a muffin. It is truly how he feels, because he has been told all his life that there's nothing, it's just fat, there's nothing good about it. My muffins are very high in protein. So, I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. Our dry ingredients are mixed. Now we're going to work on our wet ingredients. I have 3 cups of Greek yogurt. So here's why I say my muffins are high in protein. There is 66 grams of protein right here. I'm going to add 4 eggs, which is 24 grams of protein. So if you're counting with me, we now have 90 grams of protein in our muffins. So, when somebody tells you there's nothing good about a muffin, say if you use Greek yogurt when you make them, there's a lot of protein there. Which means there is something good. So I'm going to mix this until it's smoothed out. All right. Okay, so we're going to take our wet ingredients and we are going to gently fold them into the dry ingredients because we don't want to overmix. When you overmix a muffin, the flour lets the gluten out, and when a lot of gluten is in it, it's like glue, so it gets sticky and chewy as opposed to fluffy. We're looking for fluffy muffins. So, clean this up real quick. Alright, so I'm going to fold in my butter and yogurt. I mean my egg and yogurt. We'll get to the butter. Okay, now I have 16 tablespoons, which is 2 sticks of unsalted butter that I melted and is slightly cooled, it's still a little warm, that we are going to add to our little muffin mixture. Now the other thing that I do differently, when I first started making muffins, I used cupcake liners, because doesn't everybody? Isn't that the best way to make a muffin? Turns out it's not. So your muffin liner, because the muffin will stick to it, comes out of your pan easily, but it tends to, you lose a lot of muffin that is stuck to the liner, and you can get your muffins to come out just as easy by spraying your pan really well with Pam or some other cooking spray. So, what I'm going to do is take a little bit of my dough out, about half. There we go. I'm going to set this aside for later. I'm going to take blueberries. Now I have 2 cups, well, a cup and a half of blueberries, and I have a tablespoon of flour. If you have ever had muffins where all of the blueberries are at the bottom and there's not a blueberry in every bite, it's because someone did not stir the blueberries in flour first to keep them from sinking. So we're just going to mix these up and pour them right into our dough. and fold those blueberries in. And once again, we don't want to mix too much because we don't want to release all that gluten. We have our muffin pan. I'm going to spray thoroughly with my cooking spray. I want to get every little nook and cranny. Now, if you do not love a ton of blueberries in your muffins, go with a cup, or even 3/4 of a cup. My husband likes to tease me that I like a little muffin with my blueberry. He's not wrong. So I have a 1/4 cup measure that I sprayed cooking spray. I'm going to use that to portion out my dough into my muffin pans. And if at some point when you do this, your muffins start to stick again, or your batter starts to stick to your measuring cup, just spray it again. It won't affect how they're cooked, promise. Alright, so these are our first 12 muffins. I have my oven heated to 375 degrees. We're going to cook these for about 22 minutes. So 23.5 minutes and our blueberry muffins are out of the oven. And let me show you how easy this is. Comes right out. Now we're ready to eat. So with our blueberry muffins done, we're going to move on to chocolate chip. These are one of my family's favorites. And I don't know if I've expressed this enough before for you all to truly understand how much my family loves chocolate. So I have about 1/3 of the dough that we made before. And I'm going to, oops, I need that spatula. I have 6 tablespoons of dark chocolate chips. I have 6 tablespoons of semi-sweet and of milk chocolate because we really, really like chocolate. And the more chocolate, the better. So I'm going to mix these the same way I did with the blueberry. And then we're going to grease our pan and basically do the exact same thing we did with our blueberry muffins, but this time with chocolate. Alright, so my pan. My 1/4 cup measure. And we're going to have 12 more muffins ready to go in the oven. Another 22 minutes and we'll be back. So our chocolate chip muffins were in the oven for 23 minutes. And just like that, came out just like the blueberry ones. And we're ready to eat. So for our last 2 types of muffins, these are going to be about 6 of each. We're going to take a little citrus route. I'm going to start with lemon poppy seed. So I split the dough in half. And then I have 1/2 of a tablespoon of lemon extract. I have the zest from a lemon. And then I have 1.5 tablespoons of poppy seeds. And we're just going to mix that together. You want to make sure that you get that lemon zest spread around because a whole bunch of lemon zest in one bite is not going to be a good thing. So I just keep stirring until I don't see those clumps of lemon zest any longer. have my 1/4 cup measuring, my greased muffin pan, alright, we're going to get about 5 from here. And then we're going to make some orange almond. So, I have the other half of dough. I have a 1/2 tablespoon of almond extract. And then I have the zest from 1 orange. There we go. And we're going to mix the same way we did with the lemon and poppy seed. Try to get that orange spread throughout. Then I'm going to add some slivered almonds. And I just did about 1/4 cup. I just guesstimated. Didn't really measure that out. Same measuring cup. So I got about 5 of each of our citrus muffins, and then I have some of the blueberry left over from the first time. So we're just going to cook those in the last 2 slots. So this recipe makes 36 muffins. We'll put those in the oven for another 22 minutes, 375, and we'll be back. So it's been 22 minutes. Our lemon, poppy seed, 2 blueberry, and orange almond muffins are out of the oven. And as we can see, comes right out of the pan, just like they're supposed to. Looks nice and crispy, and we can't wait to delve in.